The market is in all-out crash mode here. Spider's down 1.3, triple Q's down 2.25, and not even Nvidia earnings could save the market here. What is next? Let's get into it. It is Thursday, February 27, 2025. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you guys for doing that. It's been helping out the channel a lot. And again, we're averaging the likes, not so much on the shares, not so much on the comments. We're getting close though. But, if we get that and we continue to keep those up here, I will do a giveaway on, after March 3rd, which is when we're going to have that webinar on Mindset of a Trader, which I'm very excited for. We'll be doing that live too. So it should be a lot of fun. But anyways, let's get into it here today. So markets here today dumping out pretty hard. And you're going to see here 585 definitely coming into play on the spiders. So this is something I talked about and I tweeted midday today. And actually, we were kind of cognizant of it first thing this morning. But yeah, we're kind of into that area. We are into, we did pierce 5,900 on SPX as well. And we're kind of coming into that previous level right around, remember 5870? Remember how I kept talking about that level over and over again, like a month ago? And we're back there. And I just never removed the trend line from my chart. Well, good, because now it's there. But we are back below a big trend line here, and I talked about this earlier in the week. I said you've hit it 3 times, so 4 can break. And again, look at the distance right between these lines here, right? You got basically like almost a year, and then you've got like 6-7 months, and then you've got 1 month, right? So that tells you momentum's going down and it's decreasing there. That said, I think it's getting a little, it's getting a little bloody in the short term. So we may be looking at some sort of a pivot here. In the next couple of days. Again, this is pretty incredible. AAII 60.6%. That's the highest bear percentage and the widest spread, I believe, since, you ready for this? It is September 22nd, 2022. So that was right, that was down here. And it was back-to-back weeks of 60%. So pretty crazy. And it's actually starting to get a few buy signals start to hit the tape in the middle of the day here before this little dump, at least on the daily chart. Those are obviously not really in play now. But yeah, sentiment getting pretty in the dumps there. We're also watching, the Mickey C, the McClellan. You guys ask me about this all the time. It's not really quite at ridiculous levels on the daily. It is on the weekly though, but it can go lower, right? Markets crash from oversold, not overbought. And we'll see what we get here, but let's see if we get it to 585 today. It's not that far off. And if we look at the NQ, right into that 200 MA or very close here. 200 MA is tricky. It usually gets spiked a little bit, and I would assume it probably can tomorrow. I'm a little surprised we saw this much selling today. I thought maybe we would just have another inside day today, and even tomorrow. I didn't think we were going to get much past like 600. Or 6,000 on SPX. By the end of the week, it does seem like we're being held down for end of month, but right now, pretty good sell action. And yeah, QQQ right into 500. I don't think I would bid that necessarily tomorrow. There may be some more interest starting to pop up around 495. We'll see if and when that happens. The Qs definitely look a lot worse than the spiders. And this right here is the big guide. Like, this is what everybody's got wrong. This is really all you need to look at. And you can just see it. Just slap it on, intraday. Let me use ES. This is really all you, and this is, I was able to do pretty well, day trading here, just based on dollar yen. So, we had this pivot this morning. And, we took a little bit of a hit this morning on our longs, but we made all that back and then some just buying these dips here. And the reason why we bought those dips is the yen came right back, both times. And that gave us an indication here. Then we started to roll over, got stopped out on the runner. So stay green on the day, right? That's the rule. And yeah, nice flush out there. So you can see it. It's just literally, look at the time that it peaks. Right, so yen right there and nice rollover. This is what it's all about right now. Don't let them lie to you about the growth scare or Nvidia earnings or anything. This is what it's all about. And I still think that dollar yen here right now it could be set up to rally towards 152. And if that happens, that will help the market in the short term. The cattle, or not the cattle, the key is, does this reject? If that rejects, then we are in big trouble. But and again, I told you also, like, dealers aren't going to come save this market here. They're just kind of hedging down and staying delta neutral here. So we're back below 6K SPX, not very good, and got to be careful in this environment. That's, I still think we're gonna, would I go short down here? Oh, heck no. But I mean, you don't want to chase down here into the hole, because this is the type of move that can happen, and that's just a minor preview of how quickly it can move. This is really the risk. But at this point, I think the best thing to do, if you're not short, or if you are short, just ride it down, take gains on the way down. Make sure you're taking gains level to level. Do not play with this market; it will make you pay. But if you're not short, just be patient and look for those extreme levels that we will get to inevitably, and that's the way to play this market right now. But very good price action here. Buyers finally getting the breakdown. I mean, we got stuck into this ridiculous range here, and it was a messy, complex chop for about 2 days, and we're finally getting that break. We're not to 585 yet, but if they want it, it's there by the end of the day. So we'll see if we get down there, and then we'll kind of analyze from there. I don't really see right now, off the top of my head, like the Qs look weaker for tomorrow. I think we could see 500, and maybe 495. But right now it looks like 585 for SPY is about it. That could change tomorrow. And again, the other thing I find interesting is that the VIX here is still kind of sitting just above 20. It hasn't made a new high. So I wonder how much of this is end of month shakeout here. We'll see. But yeah, you'd think the VIX would be a little bit higher right now, considering we made a lower low. But we'll watch for that, and we'll continue to cover this market here. So very good price action, and really good for day trading, not good for swings. But outside of that, yeah, through that, I mean, you got the 580 level, you got the only thing I don't like with the gap fill is I've probably gotten like 15 messages today, and I've seen on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere else, the gap fill, Aaron, the gap, that's where you got to buy the gap. And that to me says they're not going to get there, or we'll overshoot it. So we'll see what happens here. But those are the levels we're watching right now. We're not that far off 500 right now on the triple Qs. And hey, who knows? If we really go down, we can hit that 200 there, and maybe we even revisit this guy right here, which is going back all the way. Geez, we got to go 3 years back, all the way back to the bull market. Yeah, that probably does get hit at some point. Let me just extend that out. Yeah, so I mean, that's probably going to get hit at some point. But this one is a better trend line. You have the nice symmetry between the hits, whereas the spiders is a little bit weaker, right? Because we had the less time in between this last space. So right here, I'd be more inclined to just flat out buy the Qs, especially if we like gapped and puked into it without any bounces. I'd be more likely to buy it there than I would, I'd be more bullish on that than I was on this trend line rather. End of month candles. It's not great. Tomorrow we'll talk about it more, but I mean, it's basically just an inside candle. I don't see what the big fuss is about. The one I do see the fuss about though is the Russell, because you're gonna wipe out that candle. Unless we have a monster rally tomorrow, we're gonna wipe out that breakup bar. So I don't like that. Diamond here, inside candle, nothing really wrong. This is acting as risk off as it should. So you're seeing it's only down 21 basis points. Nice bounce here. Only down 21 basis points. Still got kind of a bear flag look, but compared to the spiders and the Qs, this is holding up better. That makes complete and utter sense, right? So that's normal. If you look at XLV, it's holding up for the most part. XLU, XLP is green on the day. So some of these sectors here that are kind of risk off. By the way, XLF is green on the day. Just throwing that out there. I know it's not what bears might want to hear, but that's the fact. And KRE is green today too. So take that with a grain of salt. But in any case, yeah, Dow acting risk off. SMH looks like crap, down 5%. Not good. Right? Like, not good. Like, that's a weekly. That looks like it's starting to look like a failed breakout on the weekly. So not good to see that. NVDA, we talked about 120 being in range, and it's almost there. IGV is still looking a little bit better because you have a possible higher low here. And we'll see how we finish up into the end of the day. Maybe we get a bounce back to 590. I wouldn't rule it out. And maybe that bounces us back up and puts a little tail in there. But Yeah, still just weakness, pretty much in most sectors. Dow Transport's finally starting to make a lower low. I would not buy this trend line, right? We've consolidated way too much there. That's a bare inside bar on the weekly. So I would be careful with the transports here. So I'll just avoid them for now. Bonds continuing up. So 2-year flat. And then 5s, 10s, and 30s also down just a little bit. So doesn't look like a growth scare to me, but yeah, bounced down a little bit. TLT backing off here. I still think that's going to 93. Home builders here down 1.3. Yeah, again, home sales were terrible today. Wow, imagine that. People don't want to pay $450,000 for a 900 square foot house. Who would have thought? PNQ though, still managing. I mean, this is the strongest sector here, or one of the strongest. So still up 34 cents. I can't believe it's holding this breakout. Now, again, if the market does recover here, this is a sector I think could rally. But yeah, on the daily, it's back above that red bar. Well, no, it's not quite there. It's almost there. If it can close above that, that's a daily negation. So I'd like that. XLF, definitely very interesting. It's not really a bullish candle today, but relatively speaking, it's pretty strong. And then, of course, KRE and KBE are as well. Only up pennies, but they're up in a tape that's getting crushed. Broker dealers down 75 basis points, but hanging in there. Oil, starting to think is interesting here. They got a nice bid here today. I actually, after reevaluating this, I think I like it on the weekly a little bit for a bid. So I'm not saying it's going to go make new highs or something, but I think we can get a bounce next week. I think oil definitely getting a little interesting here. XLE up on the day too. Maybe that's confirming. XOP is down. OIH is flat to positive. Other energy, CCJ, still kind of weak. URNM, let's see where that goes. Let's see if I can break that 34 handle. And then URNJ continuing down here. We've been avoiding these for a while. So I think the nuclear space needs to do some longer term backing and filling. Nat gas down 2 cents. Uptrend is not broken. Dollar index continuing to bid. So I guess so much for this growth scare stuff. But yeah, it's up 78 basis points. Tariff, more tariff stuff, more tariff talk today. But this was kind of like earlier in the day, right? And in fact, that if we look at the ES here, you can see a lot of day trading lines in here. But the tariff talk came right here. We came back and rallied, right? It wasn't a normal tape bomb where we just kind of got blown out immediately. It kind of came back. So I don't know. A lot of it feels like it's a little contrived, especially going to end of month. But watch that dollar yen though. But dollar here itself got a falling wedge. That can break bull. It's going to be interesting because Trump trying to get that down. Gold here down 1.5. So that may be starting to back off. I think this will put in a bottom in a few weeks and another run higher. Same thing with silver. Platinum and palladium still weak. And copper here flat to positive today. A little mixed there. And then we've got Bitcoin here, which bounced off the 200. No follow through though. The 200 moving average is always complicated, especially when you haven't hit it in a while. It wouldn't surprise me to see this wick through a little bit. And Bitcoin can overshoot, as we know. So I haven't touched cryptos in a minute. ETH coming back down, that's probably going to fill out that wick. Yeah, I'll just be careful with these for right now. I don't really have much of an opinion on them at the moment. Spiders here continuing to be soft. Yeah, so I mean, I think 585 is definitely doable by the end of the day. It's not that far away, so they could push that down, and we'll see if we get there. Tomorrow, it's going to be tricky because we're going to be into a Friday. We've got PCE in the morning. Maybe somebody knows something's coming, right? Maybe it's possible, but we'll see what happens there. But right now, yeah, 585 is kind of your first level down for them to hold. And you've got the gap here. The official gap is 582 and 19 on SPY. 580 just below that. But if we have another flush out, I mean, we could easily see that 200 like tomorrow if PCE really spooks the market. I would assume people are hedged now, but you never know. Especially since, like I said, we're not going to have those, like we got a fresh OPEX cycle to work with. That's why March OPEX is so dangerous. You got to be careful on the other side of it. Like I said a week ago, up here at the highs. So, anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on CarnivoreTrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.